Hi, guys. This is Beery Good Entertainment. We are back with episode 43, and it's a special edition today of Politics and Controversy. I'm joined today by my really awesome friend, Lola.
I am awesome, and I am Linda's very good friend.
And we are also we are also joined by a wonderful friend that we made a little while ago, and he's really grown on me.
He's pretty cool. He's pretty awesome.
T, how you doing?
Hey, going good.
My goodness, it's I've heard that it's been a bit of a day for you.
Well, I got mixed up. It's not today, it's Monday.
Oh, Monday.
Mm-hmm. So tell us about that, T. What's happening on Monday?
I'm finally getting my name changed done.
Yay. Yay.
I hate that I have to sit and stand in front of a judge and have them approve it. I mean, I think that's kind of bullshit. It's like I passed the background check. I'm not, trying to run from anything.
Yeah.
But you making me come to the courthouse and deal with all this crap, get searched, just so you can approve of my name.
Yeah, should be your business.
It should be like an online thing now. Like,
just do it.
Submit paperwork, done.
Yeah, but then you end up with the one guy who turned his name in to Superman something during deed poll in the UK.
They let people do that stuff.
Superman. I don't see what's wrong with it. Superman.
I mean, my mom wanted to name me Schwarzenegger Superman something. I'm like, no. I repicked my name.
No, that's just too hard to spell. That's just too long.
Well, I did saddle my kids with both my maiden and my married name so that, they'd have a choice later on. So it's a rather long hyphenated name. Doesn't fit on any government paperwork.
I was going to say I don't envy them because you only get 10 spaces.
Yeah.
But
my maiden name comes first.
Well, of course, because they came from you. Without you, they would not exist.
So I'm kind of relegated to the semi-craft beer world today.
Okay, we do what we do.
I drank all my homebrew because it was good.
Well, it was good.
So today I'm doing Angry Orchard Rosé. I've never had it before, but I thought it looked interesting.
That sounds more like a wine cooler.
It does, doesn't it?
They're confused.
Yeah.
They're trying to be both the best worlds. I'm like, you're a cider, be a cider. Don't try to be a wine cooler.
Well, it might be trying to compete with Strongbow when they did a special release of Cherry Blossom.
Oh, that might be it. Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to get in that fruit market. Huh?
I am still looking for 2-liter plastic bottles of Strongbow. I want one.
That would work.
You had to go to the UK for that.
Well, let's do it. Let's go.
It's supposed to be like in Ireland, supposedly, like the cheapest thing you can buy is what you go out and get drunk on before you go to the bar on Saturday night.
So it's our Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yes.
Well, it's like 99p. For 99 pence, I could go out and get a giant bottle of cider and get wasted before I go out when I was in London. So that was the thing to do.
So cool.
Save so much money.
I would do that. Stay in my hotel room or whatever, wherever I am.
Then you go out, you get your buzz, and then you go out and you only spend like a couple of, $6 per glass on a decent beer. And you don't have to chug it down.
Yeah,
and then you go to Baker Street and keep asking everyone, where's Sherlock? Where's Sherlock? I want to meet Sherlock. I want to meet Sherlock. Is Jack the Ripper here? Is this where Jack the Ripper is? That's what I do. What?
That was Whitechapel.
Yeah. Is this Whitechapel? Where's Whitechapel? I don't know what Whitechapel's like now. I don't know if I may not want to go there. Hopefully they've cleaned it up a little bit. I don't know.
It does taste like wine. Like it's not bad.
Yeah.
Made with rare French red flesh apples. Tinted with coloring.
Yeah, that's how you get that rosé color.
That's how you get that rosé color. It tastes a little wine-like, but it's all right.
Okay. Well, I thought it's better than nothing.
It's about as good as an Angry Orchard ever gets.
Oh,
cheap.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's cheap. That's
My
good.
wallet likes the flavor.
Yeah. For reals. Oh, it was so sad. I held up the public sales paper, grocery store here, and they have, actually it's Boston Beer, buy 2, get 1 free. And I held it up to Clint because I don't have a car. So I held it up to it and I just pointed out and went, meow. And he just looked at me. I was like, ah. He ignored me. So I got wine. So I can't complain too much, but I would like some beer.
Wine is good.
I just finished the beer, so I'm out of booze today.
Yeah, you have the expat.
Yeah, I sent T the homebrew expat. So
good.
What'd you think, T? Was it worth the time and effort?
Yes, it was really good. You had the bitter notes, the caramel, and the nuttiness going on. It was just really, nice balance.
Score.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was warming.
and this cap you get from the sparkling apple cider that looks like it's in a bottle, and that.
Does it fit right over the top? Is it good? Oh my goodness!
Awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, because
like a lot of people are now trying to make money off just selling the plastic caps when you can just get them cheaper, just buying bottles of the stupid sparkling apple juice.
Yeah, and then I'll let Mom have the sparkling apple juice, and I'll have the real stuff.
There you go.
Exactly.
Or you could put vodka in the sparkling apple juice. That works too.
Interesting.
Yay, vodka.
I hadn't thought about that because I used to do that with orange juice. I'd do vodka and orange juice, so might be interesting. And give that to Mom.
No.
No. I don't.
No drunk moms.
No drunk Mom. Yeah, she would probably fall out of her bed.
Oh no, that would not be okay.
That would not be okay.
No.
She's already shaky as it is. Poor Mama.
We've had quite a week here in Corvallis. We also had we had our first marijuana shop raid.
Oh no, what happened?
Apparently the owners were being naughty and selling out of the state.
Uh-oh. They're not supposed to do that. What state were they selling in?
They were packing it in suitcases and taking it to New York, Chicago, other states, and selling it like 3 times the price.
That's just
No.
You're supposed to use it locally. You're supposed to don't be giving the other shops bad names.
No. And what's that's like pricing. You don't do that.
Huh?
They should know that. Now, is it legal in Illinois? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Because that could be criminal.
Yeah,
they better
it could be criminal. Well, that's probably was criminal because it was an FBI raid.
Oh, then yeah, I guess they thought it was criminal. Huh?
I think there may have been other things involved too.
Oh.
Might definitely make it criminal.
So if you go to your favorite shop in Corvallis and it's closed like permanently, that's what happened.
Those poor people.
They couldn't just be happy with just the profit they were making.
Which is pretty good.
Because they're marked up. I mean, it's pretty expensive from what I've heard.
It's not overly expensive. Now, I'm not allowed to go in the shops
because of the federal.
I'm on veteran disability, so I'm not going to break the rules at all.
I work for the government, so I can't either.
It's definitely a recreational thing. Definitely a recreational thing, and I mean they're paying their taxes just like all the breweries are, and it's overseen by OLCC, the Oregon Liquor License Board. So
So if it's done right, it's above board.
Yeah, you can do it. You can definitely do it above board. We have 3 or 4 legal shops, and they do well, and none of them have closed.
Good. But you said this was the only one in Corvallis?
This was the only one in Corvallis that got raided.
Oh, okay. It's not the only one in Corvallis. Okay, so your fellow citizens are safe.
So, I think what we really came here to talk about, besides
beer and
besides touching on your name change, and I don't know if you want to tell us what you decided to change your name to. Did you?
No, I don't want to get doxxed. Why?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine.
I'm still fighting those assholes.
Yep.
Have you been doxxed before?
No, I've avoided getting doxxed. So.
Okay.
Well,
I'm always worried about that.
Our second big, and it is controversial across the United States, is polyamory.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, here here it is a don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
So what is, tell us, give us a basic rundown. What is polyamory?
Well, I mean, everybody has different relationship structures. It's basically more than one person. You're having, I mean, I'm dating at least 3 people right now that officially have the girlfriend title. Okay. It's, I give them, I release them on their own terms, on their own time and everything, and their own subjects. I don't try to make them, one person or any other bullshit. I just let them be who they are. And I don't really do all this stupid, rules and everything. But everyone has their own, different agreements. But it's more than one love. I mean, I guess that's the best way to sum it up.
More than. So are these can they be like just dating relationships, or is this like serious relationships?
Everyone's relationship varies. I mean, I don't have any partners that live with me right now. Mm-hmm. And most of them are distant, so we just go out when we can. It's not like, it's not the white picket fence bullshit of the heteropatriarchy.
Yeah, that is definitely the life I have lived. One person with one person. That was the way I was raised, and I think that most of my family would be horrified to learn that anybody else in the family would try to go out with somebody else at the time that they're dating a single person.
Well, see, one of the things I like about a situation like yours, T, is you're being honest. Because you see so many people who say that they're monogamous, they're supposedly in a monogamous relationship.
And then they go off and cheat on somebody.
And do stuff on the side and bring diseases into the household.
And it's a mess.
It is a mess.
Polyamory is about communication.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I recently I was in a 4th relationship. Okay. Her husband, though, decided since I was becoming too male for his taste, that it was over. So basically I lost the relationship with being trans because he had this rule that he had to be the only penis.
Okay.
So you run into assholes like that. But every group has its own stipulations and everything. But you need communication to make it work.
Do you think being trans makes it more difficult? Are you seen in a lesser light because you are trans?
Well, not really, no. I mean, it's just harder to go out and date with other people because I'm allowed to go see other people too, because I'm still trying to find a primary partner that lives with me and shit. Mm-hmm. And that makes it harder when you're out on the dating apps and then you get all these cisgender people are there like, ew. But it's like, whatever, that's their damage.
That seems. I'm sorry, Lola. Go ahead.
That's one of the things I was wondering about. I mean, you came from a world of, lesbian and, people who identified as lesbian. Do you find that some of those people that you would have been interested in normally have shut themselves off to you because you're no longer a woman?
I've never really been a woman. I just had to pass.
Well, let me rephrase that. I'm sorry. You will eventually not have the hardware of a woman. How's that sound? Is that better?
I mean, I haven't had top surgery yet, and I'm probably not going to get bottom surgery currently because of all the shit you have to go through for that, and the healing process, and the rejection is no. But, so, I mean, I haven't really been rejected by any of the lesbians.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Like fawning all over me at the club that one time I went, and one girl was grinding on my leg and almost set off my pepper spray. So
that's not a euphemism, is it?
No, that almost literally happened. I had to keep my pepper spray off my keychain after that.
Oh
my gosh. Yeah.
But weird.
That's not what she bargained for.
Like the one person I had went there with, like that, invited me out, got jealous because of that. Because all the lesbians, because she's a lesbian, and all the lesbians were coming after me instead of her.
Awesome! I love that. That's really cool. Okay.
It would seem so well. It's so hard to wrap my mind around it because I've been steeped in the monogamous for so long, actually attempting to care for more than one person at a time. Is it emotionally difficult? I mean, is it wearing to try to link with more than one person at a time?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just approach each person I'm dating on their own terms. I mean, it's just, and then we try to make time when we can. I mean, we're all adults and we all have gerbs.
Yeah.
It's difficult. And then, one lives in Gainesville, the other off in BFE, and then the other one's out in Macon, Georgia. So it's just we make time when we can, and it's just like, okay, we message and we talk when we can. I don't know. It doesn't feel difficult for me, but I've been poly since literally high school. So
it's the normal for you.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure it makes a difference in that, there's space for each one of your girlfriends because they live so far away. So it's not like you're trying to schedule, I'm going to see Romy on Friday and Michelle on Saturday.
Well, and I've gone on dates, group dates with them before too.
Okay.
Like I went with two of them to the Strawberry Festival, and I went with two of them to the Highland Games way back, and
that must be so cool being able to go out with both of them at the same time. Because I mean that it must feel like a lovely group, comfortable group. You all get together and you have all those personalities together. It's like this group hug date.
I mean, it's pretty fun.
I think you're the man. I mean, you are the man.
The man.
I think it's pretty cool. It's you got your entourage. Woo. Now,
tease guy groupies.
I like it. I think it's cool. Now, do your girlfriends tend to also be polyamorous, or do they just date you?
They're all poly.
So, do they have their own girlfriends and boyfriends?
Well, only one. Currently, one of them is married.
Okay.
And the other two aren't really attached to anybody.
Okay.
So, but we all give each other a heads up, like, hey, I'm going to go play with so-and-so, or hey, I'm going to go do this.
And that's fair. I mean,
or, hey,
you
hook up with this guy and fist his ass. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, obviously up to them. But it's nice. It's nice that you have that communication. That I can see how the communication is absolutely key.
I mean,
that's just respect. That's just respect. Saying, hey, just letting you know, I'm going off with this person. I met this person. It's just part of communicating, I would think.
Yeah. And it's like, we're not keeping secrets. And, the only rule they had for me is have fun, don't get in trouble, and, don't come home with any diseases.
Yeah, keep it safe.
That's always my worry. One of the reasons I said about, the people who say they're monogamous, but they're really, skunking around. I worry about, you bring diseases into your household. Because I used to work with patients with HIV like 20 years ago. And I met a lot of women who they had no idea their husbands were cheating, or at least they didn't acknowledge it. And through no fault of their own, they have at that time, fatal disease. And so that's why it makes me cringe when I hear about someone like cheating on their girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever for that reason. But you have an open communication. And so I think that's a lot less likely to happen in your situation. I mean, that.
Someone could lie at some point, and that's on them.
Hopefully they don't.
Well, it's, there are consequences for action. Somebody lies to you, or, then, you got to accept that, you got to accept the consequence of whether to be let go from the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not usually that harsh.
Well, I mean, if it would be one thing to admit to risky behavior. Hey, I really want to go out with this person, but it's kind of a risk thing, and it's a total other thing to not even tell your significant other you're going out with them.
Yeah. I mean, I think as long as everyone knows what's going on, knows, the situation, it sounds like it works out pretty well.
Yep.
It actually sounds normal. It really does. It's as long as the communication is happening, it doesn't sound like the apocalyptic event that I've been led to believe it is.
I mean, it really depends on if everybody has to be on the same level and on the same page about things. You get some people that, have been in abusive poly relationships before.
Yeah.
That's because the person was a masochist and a sociopath.
That's not good.
So, but that's just a really bad combination, because people can use the situation to abuse and then get their other partners that they abuse and, gaslit and brainwashed to abuse you too. So, it's not all fucking roses. You just have to work on it and see where things go and kick people to the curb when they ain't doing right.
Have you ever come across people who are interested in you, but they didn't realize they had been abused in their previous relationship, and it really kind of showed with their own manipulative behavior?
I'm usually quick to call out people on their shit nowadays.
Yeah.
Read them left, right, up, and down. So I normally just had to steer clear of anybody that brings off too many red flags.
Yeah.
Just, nope, bye. You
do not
bye.
That shows good judgment. Not everyone's secure enough in themselves to make those kind of calls. I think a lot of people, they may just think, oh, well, I'm here. This person is interested in me, so let's do it. They don't stop to think, how does this person affect me?
I don't settle for bullshit.
Good.
So.
How about it's difficult to bring it up. How about the legal side of things? I mean, have you ever Have you ever run into trouble with the, with?
No, why would I run into trouble?
Well,
I'm not marrying him. It's not, polygamy. I'm not marrying anybody. I'm not having multiple marriages.
Yeah.
I really don't care about that.
But if another person is married and you're going out with them, that's never been a.
You mean like if there's like something criminal, like say a husband beats the wife and
I
involved?
don't get involved in those situations.
Yeah.
I screen people.
Good.
Like if anybody was beating anybody I was dating, I'd fucking kill them. So,
that's fair. That's fair.
It wouldn't be an issue. It would be a non-issue at that point.
That's fair. Do you think you would want to get married at some point?
Eventually, maybe. It has occurred to me, that it would be nice, but I'm not going to hold my breath because.
Well, marriage is really marriage is becoming a more outdated concept than it was, even 10 years ago. So many more people around me are deciding not to get married. They don't want to deal with the ramifications financially, legally, They want the flexibility of just having the comfort of the relationship, the comfort and the challenges of relationships all have challenges.
Without making promises maybe they can't keep.
Or having to deal with the legal ties that come out of it.
Yeah.
I think the only reason I've thought about this, because I'm not married, one of the only reasons I would want to be married is for like if my partner is sick, in the hospital, I would want to be able to see him. And I would want to be able to help him. So, I think at this point, his family would probably take precedence over me, which I love his family. That's okay. It's just I would want to be in the forefront. So I think that's the only real reason I would want to do it.
Ooh, I hadn't even thought about that. That must be difficult if you're in now. Is that a Florida law that you can't, unless your family, you can't?
I think there's a law everywhere. Like if
here in Oregon, they're very flexible. Our hospital here
hospital and the situation, because I haven't had any problems getting back to see any of the people I've been dating when they're in hospital. And all my cousins and everybody have been able to get back and see me when I'm in hospital. They don't have to be like married to me or my parents. Okay. So it really is just a judgment call on how much of an asshole the people want to be.
And sometimes they can be asshole. I'm just really saying because I've known gay people who have problems because the hospital or whatever doesn't want to acknowledge gay relationships. So any excuse not to have the person come and see their loved one. Of course, I wouldn't have that experience because I'm heterosexual, so I can't really compare. But I think about that. I would want to, be able to have the rights of family,
And I can see that in heavily conservative hospitals where the administration definitely doesn't want anybody from the LGBT community coming in. That'd be a nightmare, an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, if they don't approve and if they don't like it, it's not going to happen.
But that's definitely one of the things I frown on. You make your own family. You define who your family is.
Right.
They are not supposed to define who your family is.
Yeah.
Well, Lola, we got the human rights ordinance passed, so that would counteract any bullshit that those people try to pull.
That's good.
Yes.
How would I'm kind of ignorant on that. How would that help with that?
They're not allowed to discriminate based on gender, sexual orientation, or any of those things. That's what's covered under the human rights ordinance.
I
if
see
they want
what
to
you
violate that, then
Is that a Florida? Is that a Florida thing, or
No, this is like each city in Florida has passed their own.
Okay.
Had to fight for this for several years, and one year when we were fighting for it, the gays threw the transgender people under the bus.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That's not cool.
So, but now it finally got passed, and I actually quoted that when I was dealing with a discriminatory supervisor, and I got him fired at work. I quoted about the human rights ordinance as well as company practices in order to get him removed. So
good. I'm glad you did that, and I'm glad you were successful.
Yeah, it takes people speaking up for the crap to stop.
Right. And it's sad because every aspect of your life shouldn't be a challenge. You should, the most basic thing, it shouldn't be a challenge. The most basic thing should not be a challenge. You shouldn't have to steel yourself just to be treated fairly at work. It's not right.
I mean, hell, I'm having to prepare myself in case they don't want to change my gender marker on my documents, even though I have my letters from both my therapist and my doctor.
Yeah.
So that's another battle I have to get through after the name change is done. The whole gender marker thing.
Yeah. And I have no idea how experienced Jacksonville is with that. I mean, I don't know if you're going to be met with, like ignorance or if they're accepting. I just don't know.
I mean, I know a lot of trans guys that have been successful in getting their markers changed, and a lot of trans women.
Okay.
I just don't know what hoops they made them jump through in order to do it.
And what kind of experience?
Mentioning getting the birth certificate changed first, and then going through that. So I'll find out Tuesday morning.
Good luck.
So you also change your birth certificate?
Yep. If you're born in a state that allows it, I was born in Vancouver, Washington, so I was one of the lucky ones because Washington approves the birth certificate change.
The Northwest is just so much more progressive than the rest of the country.
Except for the whole racist white state thing.
Well, and that's Oregon. That's got to be like I don't even know how to explain. Yeah, as a black eye on Oregon.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm lucky in Corvallis. Corvallis, the racist crap happens, and 99% of the time somebody's going to stand up and go, you know what, you're going to be racist, GTFO.
Right, just not in front of me, not here. Get out of here.
But the communities around us are filled with different levels of racist individuals, and so a lot of the time they don't get the support they need. It could turn out that even in a supermarket, they may have to leave the supermarket because of the racist crap, crap that happens.
And you don't think about that with Oregon, except for, I know in Portland, there's like the section where the Nazis are. I know. What is that, like a specific section of Portland where they dwell?
I don't actually know. I've only been to Portland like 3, 5, maybe 5 times. It seemed to me that there were more tweakers than racists in certain sections.
Okay. I'd rather have
if you leave the tweakers alone and go to the next street, it's okay.
Okay.
But I have not run into a section specifically with racist individuals. Where I run into it is on social media.
Oh yeah. That's because that's a Wild West. Everybody's on social media. Doesn't matter. It's everyone has a voice, whether you want them to or not.
And because it's all too easy for me to click, unsubscribe. Mm-hmm. Unless I'm feeling particularly bold and ready for a fight, usually I just go, look, I'm just gonna let the rest of the world know you exist. You suck. I'm out.
Yeah. So I think that goes back to the doxing thing. I don't have the mental, the spiritual fortitude right now to deal with that because I'm having to take care of my mom and everything. So I've been staying out of all arguments because I don't want someone to, pin me as a target. I'm just not ready right now. I'll pick that up later, but right now I'm just trying to take care of my mom and fly under the radar.
And doxing, for those who are don't really know, is basically outing somebody's identity when they don't want to. We have to respect that. If somebody doesn't want to tell us that name, that we do not, spread it all out there. Usually, it's a malicious thing. It's like telling, saying, "Oh, that person's trans," when that person is not ready for the world to know at all.
Right. Or spilling out their information. It could be their address.
Phone number, email address. It's wrong.
Anything. Yeah.
Well, the only situation it's good is when we're doxing Nazis and white supremacists because they're going after vulnerable people. And they're trying to hide their nastiness from their employers and everything else, thinking they can get away with saying they're going N-word hunting.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. I will actually agree with that. That finding these people and making sure it is public that they are white nationalists, Nazis, racists, bigots. That these are not values we want in our society. Yeah, they're hiding.
Teachers, and that one girl was trying to get into the Air Force, and then that one guy who dismantled that one homeless guy's stuff and threw it in the river. It was just, we got him real good. We found him. But it's there's times when doxing is appropriate, and that's when it's fighting scumbags. You just gotta make sure to keep your information safe to where the scumbags don't try to track you down and hurt you.
That's a big thing. And also, in that case, those people should be fired. A person like that should not be a teacher. I agree with that. Now, if someone takes it to the point of trying to kill them, that's when I'm like, no. If someone said, you know what, that Nazi scumbag, let's go and kill them, I'd have to be like, no. That's not, we're no better than that person at that point.
But we can serve justice so much better when their employer goes, yeah, you need to go because, white supremacy, not allowed in this company.
Not in the classroom, not in anywhere. Yeah, we don't want that.
Now, if a Nazi's directly coming at me and threatening my life, and, then I will fucking kill them.
That's okay. I mean, I understand that.
That's self-defense.
If someone's attacking me, I will fucking defend myself.
That's self-defense. Yeah, that's not premeditated murder.
Yeah. I'm not going to go Inglorious Bastards on a motherfucker unless they come in my house.
Right. I'm not a proponent of shooting anyone who's not armed, who hasn't, taken action against me or someone else. It's like, but yeah, if they're taking action against someone else or me, then yeah, you do what you got to do. And we live in Florida. We have standard ground, so we have no problem with that. We do.
100 Nazi scalps. I mean, what?
Oh, no. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how prevalent the problem is. Since I'm white, I don't see it.
Well, we have been having right now where someone targeting black trans women right now.
I did see that, right.
4 dead. One was shot and left for dead, but she managed to survive. But the killer's still at large. The trans community are like, the JSO doesn't think it's related, even though it's the same target.
It shows a pattern. It shows a pattern.
We're seeing a pattern, but JSO is ignoring the pattern. JSO does not want to investigate it as a hate crime, even though. And JSO has no leads on suspects.
Is that the sheriff's office or the local police?
Jackson
I don't know how your law enforcement is organized.
Sheriff's office isn't doing dick about it.
Mm-hmm.
Here we have local police, and then we have the sheriffs, but we have other federal entities that come through too.
It's different here because city and county consolidated. The only people that have their own police department are the outlying communities and the beaches.
Yeah.
They also have their own mayorships, but they still come under the purview of the city of Jacksonville as well, because city and county consolidated. But JSO pretty much overrules everything, and the only people above them are FDLE.
What's FDLE?
Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
Okay. All right.
They're the ones that investigate any corruption. They're the ones that actually got Hampton PD and Waldo PD shut down.
Okay. Yeah, Waldo PD was pretty crazy.
Well, they were just milking traffic fines and everything to make their income, and then you also had a bunch of Hampton and Waldo also had problems with cops stealing drugs and other corruption going on, and some of them had members that were members of white supremacy groups.
So, see that? Oh my God! Law enforcement and white supremacy. That.
Well, you have a problem with that in here in the South. You have members that are
good
in
old
the KKK.
boys.
And like that one guy in Stark that was busted, like after he got doxxed and then it got back to his department, they booted him really quick. But you know, it's the fact that he managed to fly under the radar and get in uniform in the first place.
That means that they're not checking themselves too hard. They're not really, And
like JSO has said some rather racist shit, even when they're black coworkers around. Yeah. So it's like, I don't think that they're gonna look too hard for a killer unless the killer either turns himself in, or they, someone else catches them and they force the cops to do something.
Yeah, I think the kill would probably have to spread and target other people before it was taken seriously.
And they're probably not gonna. They're probably gonna want to stay under the radar and just stick with their MO.
That's just sad. I wonder if the killer is like seeing them at clubs, or I just wonder like how he's targeting these women. Have they said in articles or anything?
No, they don't know. They really don't know.
Okay.
All it is someone with a gun. So we have a weapon and it's the same victim.
Okay.
Same type of victim.
But the problem is they're not even attempting to put the clues together. They're just going, it's not important enough to investigate.
Or just chalking it up probably to another gang related shooting. I mean, they're probably just
they aren't doing dick. And it's frustrating. We actually at the vigil we didn't have police security. We hired private security for the vigil.
Sad. They didn't even, and that would have been an excellent time for the JSO to show their faces because
police don't care about us. I know. They have been against us since Stonewall. And cops should not be at Pride. Cops incarcerate transgender people and put transgender women with male inmates. We don't need them.
That's not good. Not good.
As far as I know, we also have a problem with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's as far as I know, we still have a problem with it. There's still a specific case attempting to wend its way through the court in Salem right now. They actually did release the woman.
Okay.
But they're still attempting to define somebody's gender themselves. They're not paying attention to this person and saying, I am this gender. And
it's not like it hurts them. How is it going to hurt them if someone identifies as a female? Is it going to kill them?
No,
because it bucks their perceptions and it bucks their upbringing and it bucks their bigotry.
When you have to challenge those, preconceived notions, and you don't want to, it's painful, and they don't want to have to deal with it.
I guess they feel like they would be legitimizing it. Yeah, and they don't want to do that.
And you know what? That's exactly what needs to happen, because it is legitimate.
It is. Yeah, I wonder how many people are going to have to suffer before the rest of the world accepts it.
Gets a clue. But most of it here is very, very religious based.
Yeah.
Here too.
Very religious based.
I would, they put the cloak of religion on, but I think it's really more like they just don't want to rock the boat. They want things to be the way they've always wanted to. They're conservative. They don't want anything they don't understand.
First Baptist Church is pushing the Christian agenda all over Jacksonville.
I have heard so much
stranglehold on local politics.
Yeah.
And they are pushing a religious agenda. So there's at least one group pushing a religious agenda.
That's that's like a huge monolith of a church. That's just like...
Well, and ever since I've been fighting them, ever since I turned 16 and came out and was being active.
It's just, they turned it into a corporation. I mean, what there is good about religion, they perverted by turning it into a weapon, basically. That's how they get power.
America's way too good at that. Way too good at that.
They are good at that. Manipulating things to...
Yeah, that corporations are seen as people. The corporations, they're not people. It's just a piece of paper.
Yeah. You see, everything is put through the lens of, is it good for the corporation? Even our wonderful president, everything is about corporations, not even necessarily about, the regular business owner in America. It's about whoever is putting money in his pocket, whether it be China's ZTE or whatever. Okay.
So,
yeah.
How that reminds me, how in a polyamorous relationship do you solve a conflict like difference of political opinion? Is it?
I don't.
Do you try to convince each other, or do you just not get into it?
I don't date anybody who can't see eye to eye with my politics.
Okay.
So all of you are pretty much on the same scheme line.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much a non-starter. If the person is on the opposite side of the spectrum politically, you're just not gonna.
No, I don't. And like the only time I run into anything is I'm very anti-cop, and one of the people I'm dating, because of her career, she ends up having to work with law enforcement.
Okay.
I end up, there's only thing there, so she can't outwardly on her public profile call out police corruption.
Okay.
But she at least does what she can.
Yeah.
But other than that, we sit there and we have a civil discussion about it. But other than that, I will not date anybody who doesn't have similar political beliefs.
So that's definitely one of the things you have to know going into a polyamorous relationship is how everybody aligns with everybody else.
And I'm guessing, before you enter into a relationship with someone, you already know the person.
Yeah.
I would guess. So, yeah.
Like my longest current relationship right now, I've known them for over a decade before I even considered dating them.
Yeah.
I've been dating them now since 2013, so a decade before that. So
you've known her for 15 years.
Yeah.
That's a good long time.
Yeah.
And
well, now I said her. I'm assuming that your relationships are with women. Huh?
I mean, I do also have sex with men, and
I was wondering. Yeah.
but it's like I haven't found a boyfriend I want to keep around.
Okay.
Is it easier to have a relationship with women for you than to attempt to have a long-term type relationship with guys?
I mean, I just haven't found the right guy. I mean,
yeah,
who can understand that, one, I'm a guy, and two, if you're with me, you're gonna be slightly fucking gay, no matter how you sexually identify. You're with me, I'm a guy, so you're gonna be slightly gay.
I would imagine the person would have to be very comfortable with their sexuality and very open, because, I mean, if the person is a gay man, they're used to having sex with anatomically endowed men. Cisgender, thank you. Okay, so they're used to having sex with cisgender people, so they would really have to open their mind and open their sexuality to, have a favorable experience with you.
Yeah. And I also date non-binary people too, and gender fluid people. So.
And that's where the them comes in. That's one thing I was thinking about when you were saying them. I was wondering, were you just saying them just not to pinpoint a gender, or is that person fluid and binary?
No, I was just not trying to pinpoint a gender at that point. Okay. But have seen. Ooh, Black Ops 3 is installed. I mean, I have seen people that are non-binary and gender fluid too. So I'm pansexual, so I cover the whole rainbow of things.
That's good. All welcome. Well, as long as you're not a Nazi.
As long as you're not an asshole.
As long as you're not an asshole.
So but it's okay if you got one.
Huh?
Okay. Well, you said it's okay if they've got one. Well,
yes.
Presumably they all would have them, but and if not afraid to use it. Yeah.
So. But I haven't dated any aliens I know of, so we're good.
Well,
that you know of. That's the thing.
They could be all lizard people.
Well, they assimilate.
Yeah, we haven't gotten into the supernatural thing yet.
That's another day.
Another day.
But pansexual covers it. See, you've got it. Pansexual covers it.
So if I meet a hot chupacabra, I'll let you know.
Personally, if there's a unicorn out there, I would consider a polyamorous relationship.
All right, I have to ask, what is doing the penetrating?
What?
If it's a unicorn, what is penetrating what?
Well, I'd have to have a frank discussion with my husband.
I'm just saying, it's a unicorn.
That would definitely, I would have to up my communication game there.
That could be painful.
That could be painful.
Yeah, that could be painful. That could be a 911 situation, and you don't like that.
Dude, you got to use a rubber stopper or something.
Dental dam. Put a dental dam
God.
On.
Wow.
Soften it up a little bit.
At least I would always know my partner is horny.
Exactly. If we name this episode, I think that should be the name. At least I know my partner is
always horny.
You got that one right, always. Well, speaking of rainbows and unicorns, I love your hair, Linda. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yes, I went out and spent my all my money this at the beginning of the month for Pride, because I have family and friends all over the globe, and just like UT, they run the gamut of the rainbow. Do have pansexual gender fluid, gay, lesbian, trans, family and friends all over the place. And I can't just pick one out. I wanted to show my support for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Especially since it doesn't personally, it's none of my business what someone does in their own home. It doesn't hurt me if they feel like it's the right thing to do. I mean, it's not for me to judge. They don't judge me, so why should I judge another person?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what they do in their own home. If they choose to be their gender out in public, that is also that should be nobody else's business.
Well, that's true. I was talking about sexuality specifically, but as far as
who they choose to have sex with in their own home is so none of my business.
And you know, it doesn't affect me. If someone, I want people to be happy. So if someone feels like the way that they anatomically are is not congruent with the way they feel, I want them to fix that. I want them to get that taken care of. I don't want anyone to be unhappy. Why would I want that?
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. Do what you got to do. I just wish it were easier. I wish you didn't have to jump through so many hoops, and I wish you didn't have to pay so much money.
Expensive, exactly.
It is. And I mean, if you ever do the full-on surgery,
it's expensive to feel like the human that you need to be.
Because people don't want you to do it, I think. Maybe that's it. They don't want you to do it, so they make it expensive. I don't know.
Well, and there's also, like, with phalloplasty and other types of surgery, it's really experimental.
Okay.
And really traumatic. It can be.
Yeah.
Depending on which procedures you get done. So
that's true.
There is always a risk. I think the one they really overcharge on is the top surgery because you're taking shit off. But
as far as
good plastic surgeons have been doing top surgery for how long on everybody?
For a long time.
Come on. That it shouldn't cost the price of a house to get top surgery.
But I will say it does cost the price of a house, because I know I just had outpatient surgery about 3 years ago, and I'm still paying for it. I'm still paying for my part. The entire bill for 3 hours of surgery was $12,000 for 3 hours of surgery. Right. And my insurance paid a lot of it, but I had to pay $2,000 of it, and I'm still paying that off. So, I mean, just for 3 hours of pretty standard surgery. So I do understand it costs a lot of money.
Our medical here in the United States is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Well, that leads to another question. I know that people are going to other countries for routine surgery. Is there somewhere, like, I don't know if South America or Mexico or Canada, do they have anything that would be less expensive that you could do?
I know one of my
friends makes sense.
In Singapore.
Well, that's
I thought for sure. Pardon? I'm sorry.
What?
I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't.
You don't think
you get surgeries done though? That's kind of exploiting them.
Exploiting the other country?
Yeah, because like with a lot of white people, they don't, going, like, for example, going to Mexico to get their dentistry done.
I've heard of that. So you don't think that'd be something you'd want to do? You don't want to do that?
I mean, I just have moral qualms about it because these people hate Mexicans, but at the same time take advantage of Mexico's healthcare system to get shit done.
Okay.
It's a bit hypocritical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see the hypocritical nature in that.
That's true. What about Canada? You think you want to try? What?
Just what Trump has done to Canada right now.
Well,
or I don't know.
Canada hates us right now.
You just say, look, I'm totally not. I know they hate us. We're never going to get them back. we made them very mad. They broke
We're
up
fucked
with
on
us.
maple syrup and anything good.
And all good
Oh.
sci-fi TV.
How bad do you have to be to have Canada break up with you?
Right. I mean,
Donald
you're
Trump.
in
You have to be
Canada.
Donald Trump to get Canada to break up with us.
I guess so. I mean, it's like, come on. And Trudeau's so handsome. Who would mess with Trudeau? He's so handsome. I'd just be making moon eyes at him the whole time.
Mr. Woke himself, I've heard him described as.
He's just handsome. I don't know. He's just handsome. And I would be like, can I come to Canada and live here with you?
Sorry, but the man can describe gravity. The man can describe gravity in scientific terms.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude. I like him. And I am ashamed. I'm embarrassed about the way we treated Canada. And all this.
Well, I'm embarrassed with the way we treated. I'm embarrassed. I was embarrassed from the second that our president started saying that Mexico was full of rapists.
I was embarrassed. Well, he wasn't the president then, if I remember correctly, but I was still embarrassed and shamed. I don't even know the words for it. Cringing.
The White House still has not recognized June as Pride Month.
It hasn't. They didn't do it last year either. Trump didn't do it last year either. He's basically, thumbing his nose at us, and he knows it's getting under our skin.
Yep.
We have somebody in our chat talking to us. Our chat is on YouTube somewhere. Somewhere. Let me try to find it. Shay, can you put the link to the YouTube so that we can read it? I can't remember where the YouTube is. Where's the YouTube? YouTube / Beery Good.
I wish I could just ask Google to do it for me. It's getting close. Here we go.
Hey, Wiretap, find the conversation.
I know.
Wiretap. Wasn't that a really good band? That was a really good band.
Somebody's probably listening to it. All right.
Do you have it? There you go, Lola.
Yeah. Okay. T, and if you want, you can open it and look at the YouTube chat too. You might want to, huh?
Wouldn't it stop the flow if I get out of the app and go look at a YouTube chat?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
We can say the questions though.
Yeah, we can. I forgot you're on your phone. You might only be able to do one thing at a time.
Says Canada is just jealous of our new BFF, the DPRK.
Oh gosh, the Republic of Korea. That's North Korea, right?
North Korea.
Yes.
Oh gosh, no, I don't think so. Cybernaut is being facetious, of course, but yeah, I don't think anyone's jealous of Kim Jong Un, however you say his name, and Trump's relationship.
Kim Jong Un.
Kim Jong Un. I don't think anyone is jealous of that.
I think we should divorce Trump and let him go off with his new boyfriend, because I'm not interested in a polyamorous relationship with North Korea.
Oh, I'm not. I'd rather be with Canada.
I would totally rather be with Canada.
He broke up the polyamorous thing we had going, and we're going off with Canada. He can go with his boyfriend Kim Jong Un. We're going with Canada because Canada is really big.
I'm up for Canada, Germany, and Mexico.
That sounds like a good sandwich.
Occasionally, a date with Brazil might be nice.
I have lots of Brazilian
friends. They got issues to work out on their own, though.
Yeah, they got some political stuff going on. That's true, but it's a beautiful country. It's a huge country.
And Venezuela is gorgeous.
They got a lot going on.
But yeah, I don't want to get into the politics with them.
They need to work on themselves. Another time, another place, star-crossed lovers.
Star-crossed lovers.
They need to work on themselves, find themselves, learn to love themselves, and then, branch out. How about Chile? Chile's kind of got it going on. They seem pretty cool.
Good food. Upcoming beer.
That's good. I like that. Yeah, they always seem pretty good to their people. That's the impression I always got anyways. I could be wrong.
Australia's always good for a fling. Come on, they got the beautiful, the beautiful brumbies
and Aboriginal people.
I was gonna say there's always the issue with the Aboriginal people,
and Canada still has issues with First Nation people.
That's true.
We have issues with our own people here in the United States.
But we're trying to better ourselves. We're trying to go high instead of going low. So who can we date? Who would be like really forward thinking for us to date?
Wow, that's hard, isn't it?
Man. Yeah. Everyone's got fucking issues.
Everyone's got issues.
Everyone's
got. So I mean, we'd have to try to. Sai says, let's make it a regular Sense8.
Yeah, T, have you ever seen the show Sense8?
Yes, I love Sense8.
I love that show. Oh my god, I'm behind on it. I haven't seen the most recent, the finale, but
the most recent one yet either.
I love it. It's such a gorgeous show, so beautiful. I love it. So yeah, it could be a regular Sense8, but who? Iceland. I wonder if Iceland has any issues. They probably do.
I'm trying to think. I can't quite recall any issues off the top of my head with Iceland.
I mean, I don't know if they have any issues that I think they're Inuit people there, so I don't know if they have any issues with that. Oh wait, never mind. Their banking system crashed because they were doing some funky stuff with their banking system. I don't know if that.
Then they prosecuted all the people responsible for it.
Well, that's something. That's good. So they took responsibility. Okay.
But would they want to date us?
That's a good point. They may not want to date us.
We might have to really go to work if we wanted to date them.
Well, we would have to let them know that we are not with Trump. We are our own section. I don't know what we could call ourselves. Huh?
I think we should just get our own private island and start our own nation.
Well, I vote for Puerto Rico.
I've got an idea. Okay, when California becomes 3 states, we need to all move to Northern California because that's going to be the cool California. Southern Cal. This is a real thing. They're putting it on the ballot for California to become 3 states.
I know, and it's going to be a disaster for their economy, and also for us because of how many with the Electoral College and how would the votes split up then?
Well, one article I read said they would get more senators. I don't know about the electoral vote, but they'll get more senators.
It's in preparation if it passed, which is won't. But then again, Trump became president. If it passed, that's preparation for peeling away from the United States.
That's what I'm thinking.
And forming potentially Cascadia.
I love that name. Is that what California?
That's what those separate states and they would then be courting Oregon, Washington, potentially a few others to bring them into a Western country.
Okay, I'd have to move even though I own my house and I say I'm never going to leave this house. I would have to move if it came to that. Because I want to be on what I consider to be the right side of this. So,
and even though it would be economic hardship, I'd want to bring Puerto Rico with us. I want to bring Puerto Rico with us. I think that if we put a generous amount of resources into Puerto Rico, it could become epic.
If they want to come with us, because I mean, a lot of people
get their own say. Right now,
they should get their own say. But unfortunately, even as loud as they've been shouting, they still 9 months later have not returned to normal.
Because Trump doesn't care about Latino people.
Yes,
even though they're U.S. citizens.
Right.
He doesn't care.
I don't even think he knew.
New Ireland? Where?
Oh no! What's going on?
Where is New Ireland?
Oh, did Che say that?
Is New Ireland
marriage equality and abortion?
Oh, marriage equality and abortion in Ireland. They've stepped up. They've stepped up their game. That's pretty attractive. That is pretty attractive.
New Ireland, that would be cool. And Cy said that he heard Britain has become available.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know though. I mean, it's a new split. They just left, the EU. I think they need some space.
Yeah, I think they need some
And
space and
Britain's
time
got
to
its own shit
process.
sorted out.
What, T?
Britain's being overrun by conservatives and fascists right now.
That's the people who did Brexit, I believe. The people who are like, no, we don't want to be under control. So,
yeah, Prince Charles fled to Cork, for a vacation date.
Okay,
it's working out well. Actually, they were really happy to have him there.
That's good. I'm glad.
It was very nice.
Kind of bridging the divide and stuff. I'm glad. Better than ignoring Ireland.
Cork is, from all accounts, it seems like everybody I know has been there, and I have not.
I haven't.
I haven't been to Ireland yet.
I haven't. So.
It seems like it's becoming a really interesting place to go. I mean, not just I don't want to just kiss a stone. I want to see. I don't know if this is politically correct or not. I'd love to see, North Ireland and Ireland come together with this, the whole,
They got to work out a lot of bad blood, though.
They do. Absolutely. And not just the religious portion.
There's a loyalty to England, and I mean, there's a reason why there's such animosity there.
Well, the Catholic Church ended up committing a bunch of atrocities in Ireland.
Yeah.
That they're still trying to clean up. And then the Protestants coming in and putting bullshit on top of that it's just it's too much of a mess for reunification.
And here we go with the religion again. Why can't these guys just stick with what they're supposed to stick with? Just stay in the church, and whoever comes in the church, you can praise God, but don't come affect our
politics. Push it on other people.
Don't tell us who we can date. Don't
tell us if we can have abortions or not.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I mean, they put women and girls in special houses and forced workhouses and prison type environments. That's one of the latest things that they're finally. They got called out on and exposed on, and the women got apologies for, but not from the Catholic Church, but from the Irish government. So the church still needs to own up to a lot of shit.
Yeah, that is very true.
I don't.
Here in America, we've just made reparations to people that we sterilized without their consent.
Yeah.
And they still suspect it's still going on in some areas, unreported even today.
Yeah.
How do you take somebody's choice away from them, like that?
Were these part of experiments?
No, it wasn't experiments. It was whole hog. You don't fit our view of what you should be as a human being. So we're going to prevent you from procreating.
How did they do that?
Now we should do that to Nazis.
Although, well,
but just because you're homeless doesn't mean that you should be sterilized.
No,
just because you don't fit what society tells you is a higher intelligence, it doesn't mean you should be sterilized. It just means you have to undergo these enforced surgeries.
No, so
that should be your choice.
Yeah,
unless you're Nazi.
I mean. I used to joke saying, they should make, birth control mandatory for some people. But, no.
It's a slippery slope once you go there.
The only time I will say that enforced temporary birth control is a good idea is military. unless you provide a plan for, you know, a family, an actual family planning, you know, look, I want to have a kid here and I'd like to be transferred for this amount of time. If you're in the military and you're about to go overseas, you should be put on birth control that obviously won't harm you. That should be taken care of.
I don't know. You were in the military. You have more experience with that than I do.
If you're on a ship, you don't want to deal with the prospect of, come on, getting pregnant or, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's going to, you know what, the
people
sex
that
is
end up cheating on their husbands while their husbands are out at sea, and they came, your husbands came back to the baby. So.
Yeah, but I mean, the people who are in the military themselves,
on the ship or whatever.
There are so many young people on the ship, and look, it's just going to happen. It's going to happen in these tiny. There's so many places on a ship where you can hide. There are a lot of.
Or how about this? Provide birth control, even if it's not the kind that you ingest or, you know, put inside. You provide birth control because also, I mean, you're going to have sexual relations between men, between women, and so you also want to stop the spread of HIV
diseases,
and things like that. So,
and that does happen too. And there should not be a stigma attached to being gay and having gay sex while on a military expedition, unless it has affected your job.
Well, of course not. I mean, if you're doing it while you're supposed to be on watch, that's not cool.
If you're on a mission and, you know, you decide that sex is more important than your job, then you probably don't belong in the military.
But that's for any type of sexual relation. It doesn't matter. It's just not cool. But so I think, you know, providing birth control would be a good idea. At least condoms or something.
They do provide birth control.
Oh, that's good.
But it is not enforced. That's the only place where I can see enforced birth control would be a good idea. Because then for at least that mission, you can be well assured up to the, you know, the percentage that birth control can give you. Okay. You're not going to wind up with some key member of a team having to be helicoptered out.
I guess maybe. It's hard for me to imagine forcing anyone to do birth control. I understand what you're saying.
Anyone to do birth control.
Yeah,
only for the time of, you know, of that expedition or that mission.
The deployment.
It's really, it is really hard on Westpac to replace a person on board ship. It just gets, and they're already overwhelmed.
Yeah, and would they be prepared to take care of a woman who's pregnant? Like, would they have the prenatal vitamins?
You are gone.
Oh.
If it happens, you're gone, and the ship loses that member immediately.
Okay. I guess, okay. So, like, even if someone, say you're on a 5-month deployment, and someone becomes pregnant in the 3rd month, so she's got 2 months that she's going to be pregnant, would she at least be able to have, like, prenatal vitamins? Or, I mean,
they'll give her the appropriate care.
Okay.
But the next helo out, they're gone.
Oh, well, I mean, I think she could still serve if she's only 3 months in. No, they won't let her serve.
There are so many physical, chemical, biological dangers to a fetus.
Okay.
It just wouldn't be appropriate at all.
I guess I hadn't thought about that. Okay.
We're exposed to so many dangerous things in the military every single day.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even handle when I became pregnant with my son on purpose. I couldn't handle any of my weapons. I couldn't clean them. I couldn't. Yeah. So it's dangerous. And then, of course, you lose that member of your team and you have to do double duty. And
nobody likes that.
No, nobody.
And it costs money to helicopter someone out. It costs a lot of money.
It does.
I don't know. Yeah, you have a very good point. Would someone in the military, this is way off topic, but if they did become pregnant while on duty, would there be any like court-martialing or anything? Because they're not really supposed to be.
It is possible. It's possible they could go to captain's mast.
Okay.
Depends on the ship. Depends on the
Okay.
situation.
Yeah.
They could have dereliction of duty.
Okay. Yeah, because I know they don't.
Endangering a ship.
Okay, because I know they're not supposed to fraternize, right? When they're on a ship, they're not really supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, which is why I say remove that stigma, because it happens anyway.
I know it happens. That was a big argument when they were first talking about putting women on subs. They were like, no, all those men and a woman, there'll be danger and everyone will want to have sex with her.
But it happens anyway. It happens in the Marines. It happens in the Army. It happens on Navy ships. It just happens.
I had so many arguments about that. My first argument was, okay, it's the Navy. You don't think they're having sex even when there's no women there?
Yeah.
They're having sex. And also, basically, you're discriminating. You're saying someone can't serve on a ship because they're a woman. So I had two big arguments when people were trying to say no to women working on a submarine. So those were my big two arguments. I was not happy. But they did it. They've allowed it. It's happening, and I'm glad.
Well, Trump is still trying to remove transgender individuals in the military. That infuriates me.
I know.
So many good, qualified individuals.
I know.
That just want to do their fucking job.
And meanwhile, you have a cisgender asshole who has no, he gets in and,
Colonel Bowspurs.
Exactly, sperm donors.
Sperm donors. Yeah, I think people should be judged on their actions, not their gender, not, anyone's perception of their gender. I think they should be judged on their actions.
See, that's why we need to go out with Canada.
Yeah, I like Canada. I don't know who else we could date. I don't know. So someone on our chat mentioned Guam, but that's a heavily military island, so we probably better not do Guam. Yeah.
Not unless you're really into bondage.
What's the bondage thing?
Being tied up and a little bit of pain.
Oh, okay. Well,
valid. It's valid. But,
as long as no one gets hurt.
It takes a special country to really be into bondage.
Yeah. That's lots of communication there. You always have to be on the same page.
Yeah. See now, I think that Russia could really be into the bondage thing, but they're not very communicative.
I'm not having anything to do with them. That is on my do not want list. Definitely.
Banned. Russia's banned.
Banned. Yep. I don't want any of that. I don't want some secret agent coming and poisoning my coffee. I just don't want it. Do not want.
I know the Central African Republic, CAR, right? That's a no-go.
Botswana. I've always heard good things about Botswana. Maybe we can date Botswana.
The Philippines?
Nope. Africa.
Nope.
No Philippines?
No Philippines. Oh no, they got a lot of crazy stuff.
They have a fascist
they're
right now.
Yeah, the president is really disturbing.
He's fascist and a misogynist.
And crazy. Yeah,
and he's actually encouraging people to gun down people in the streets if they think they're drug dealers. So
he's insane.
That's awful. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, that's the
he's
Philippines.
Encouraging that. People are dying
in
the Philippines because of that.
Yes, yeah, he's insane.
So I can't go to the Philippines.
No Philippines.
So I'll say one wrong thing, call someone out on something, and I'll get shot, and they can just say I'm a drug dealer.
Right. Yeah, it's lawless.
He has tattoos. He must be a drug dealer.
Yeah.
If I call them out on some shit, so I'm not safe even in the Philippines.
Nope, no Philippines.
France is really snotty, but they have good cheese.
They're Islamophobic. France is Islamophobic.
Yeah, and they don't let people wear their the headscarves if they're Islamic.
Hijab.
They don't. Yeah, the hijab. I don't like that. I don't like the way they treat people of Catholic or non-Christian religions. They don't allow any religious headgear. So if you're not allowed to express your religion at all. I don't know if that goes with the Jewish yarmulkes. I don't know if they
they only discriminate against Muslims on that.
France
Yeah, I
is a
don't like
secular. Jay says France is a secular state. They don't allow crosses either.
Yeah, see, I don't like that.
So no, you don't wear religious jewelry.
See, it's
At least it's the same for everyone, but they focus
more heavily on Muslims, though.
Yeah, focusing more heavily on Muslims is really discriminatory.
Right, exactly.
Look at this. Everybody's got issues. It's
gonna be tough.
Survive as a species.
I'm just gonna I want a private island. Fuck everyone. Cool. I want my own island.
That would be cool. That would be nice.
At this point, is Antarctica the only place left?
No, because everybody's still got military installations.
Yeah, exactly.
On that. And then it's melting away.
Yeah.
I saw an article that is gradually melting because of global warming. So there might not even be any Antarctica left in a few years.
There may not be any.
There are so many decent people that we'd never make it just one island. We'd have to take over a country.
Well,
we're willing to give up a country.
Britain's not as protected.
Several islands. We'll take over an archipelago.
That sounds good to me.
Well,
lots of cool
climate change means most of the archipelagos are
they're gonna
really drowning fast.
Yeah, they're gonna be.
Yeah, gone. I mean, Florida. We might be drowning in Florida.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think the East Coast will be around for a whole lot longer, which is sad. The same thing, unfortunately, with California. They may end up breaking off. So
there are a lot of Caribbean islands for sale, though.
If we get our money together, I've got like $20.
I got $3.50.
All right, so $23.50. Now, does Amazon deliver to those Caribbean islands?
Amazon will deliver anywhere.
Okay,
not Amazon. I'm pretty sure we could put a FedEx installation. FedEx will go anywhere. You put a FedEx installation on an island, you're set.
Okay, so I think we got it going on. I think we got a plan. All right. So Caribbean island. Okay.
A bunch of Caribbean islands. We just go in and offer all these poor Caribbean islands. How much we have?
$23.50.
$23.50.
Yeah. That's what we got.
And some homebrew.
Yeah. Well, we'll make our own homebrew.
Because I mean, add some homebrew to get the islands. Because come on, seriously, homebrew is better than cheap lager. I don't know why I don't know why they've been brewing lager on islands anyway.
I don't know. But we can have that. Can be our own thing. We could have our own brewery. That could be an export.
Brew. Yep.
So, and we could if we wouldn't have to depend on your government check or anything. So we could do pot if we want to. Do pot. Yeah. I don't know how you say that. Do pot. We could grow it and stuff. We could do pot and the Amazon,
but we'd also have to figure out how to hurricane proof our stuff.
Oh well, that's not a problem because I know dozens of wonderful scientists that are they're totally eager to get in on the. I just want to get away from the politics crap.
Well, okay. Can we could would it be possible for us to make?
There you go. Here's your evil scientist laboratory.
Shelters.
Just we can make shelters. Just come up with a way to survive the hurricanes, and you don't never have to pay taxes.
Yeah. Lots of concrete structures, Category 5. We have to be self-sufficient because the next big hurricane, no one's coming to help us. So,
yeah, but at least in the Caribbean, you have lots of sunshine, so solar power galore.
That's true. We could learn solar power. I have a friend who's starting to sell solar panels, and she tried to get me, but I was like, I can't afford that. So maybe we could. Well, we wouldn't want her to actually be there because she's very conservative. But we could get her solar panel hookups and try to get solar panels.
But then she'd want to come along, and I don't want conservatives on the
island. No. Look, I know how to. I guess you could call me the conservative whisperer because I know how to cut that off. I'm going to be like, there's a trans person. There are bisexual people. There's going to be pot, and no. I mean, that's all I have to say. And she'd be like, no.
Nakedness.
And nakedness.
Science.
Right.
Lots
and beer.
of nakedness. Lots and lots
Parts
of nakedness.
Touching. Parts of one gender touching another part of the same gender, and then touching another gender at the same time, and lots of parts touching.
Lots of just naked hugging in the street. Not even sexual, just naked hugging in the street.
It's like Sense8.
Oh my God, I love you. Give me a hug.
I'll show her an episode of Sense8. I don't think she'd want to come. I'd be like, I just want your solar panels, okay? That's all I want. You stay there. Just give me some solar panels.
Pansexuals running in the streets free.
Cats and dogs living together. That's
be
the
free, beautiful people.
Thing.
Be free.
It would be awesome. We'd have to bring our cats. Definitely bring our cats, and we'd have some dogs.
Guinea pigs.
Well, guinea pigs. We'd have your guinea pig.
Well, he's 10 years old, so you know.
He might not make it.
Yeah,
we could actually make him president, but he's pretty grumpy by now. But
What's
for the
difference?
price of a piece of lettuce,
we can lobby him. I've got 2 pieces of lettuce.
I've got a strawberry.
Yes.
Yes, of course you may build a house on that tiny plot of land.
Exactly. That's all. You know, we need to import red hair dye. Here are 3 pieces of lettuce. Okay, we will do that. So we already got the racketing going on. We're on our way to having a government.
There we go.
We already know how we're going to bribe. Okay.
At this point, I'm going to need to rewrite my post-apocalyptic book that I've just begun.
Okay. Well, we already know where we're going to end up.
On an island. Yay.
On an island.
Or a bunch of islands.
A bunch of islands. We just got to have to figure out how we're going to get there because I don't.
Boats.
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 I don't know how to drive a boat.
Come on. If people could get to Hawaii, pretty sure we can figure out how to get to the Caribbean from Florida.
Okay. Well, we need a map. Because I know about
GPS. Boats with GPS.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, all you need is a phone. We have GPSs on our phone.
Well, this is the apocalypse, Linda. Now, you talked about your post-apocalyptic thing now. Okay, so if this is post-apocalyptic.
Well, it doesn't mean the satellites are all going to fall out of the sky. They're going to be okay for a little while. They're going to be okay for long enough to get there.
Okay, so my cell phone, so Cricket Mobile will still be up and running? I'll be able to use
for long enough to actually get to the island. Then, so if you know the apocalypse happens, you know, we'll gather together, you know, and just go.
Make sure you bring some extra batteries and power banks and stuff because you know the power grid may go down.
And bring all the bottles you can find.
Right.
We're going to need that because I don't know how to process glass into bottles. I'm pretty pathetic.
Well, and we can get some kegs. We'll get some kegs. I think that'll be a better solution. Everyone drink from the same keg. Now we may have fights there though, because I used to date a guy who homebrewed beer and I would help him. And we had 2 kegs because we would always fight about what beer we were doing. He liked IPAs and I liked brown or red ales. So we can never agree on what kind of beer, so we had to get 2 kegs.
Well, we can brew, you know, we can brew all the colors of the rainbow.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I like red. I like brown. I like stouts. I'm not big on IPAs.
No IPA.
Although there are a few I like.
I really happen to like black beers.
I do too.
They're one of the most beautiful beers available.
Yes, I like that. So, all right. So we'll probably have to have We might have to have a few kicked because I'm sure there's going to be someone who wants IPA. There's always someone who wants IPA.
And after the apocalypse, all these tiny little breweries, they're going to be available. So let's just go in, offer them,
$23.50
for their equipment, and we can just haul it all down to the Caribbean.
Yeah, and I mean, we may not even have to buy the island. If we're nice, we may be able to share an island with somebody. Maybe they'll let us, but we'd have to ask first.
I'm up for sharing as long as they're not bigoted or racist.
Well, we're talking about a Caribbean island, so I'm hoping not. I'm hoping we find a nice little island, and maybe they'll let us stay there, but we have to ask.
For a fee, we could do, a Nazi punishment where we have this giant diving board, and we just make them walk the plank and just for a fee, of course. If you want to get rid of Nazis out of your country, we'll do it for you.
Okay.
All you got to do is get them here, and we'll make them walk the plank.
Yeah. All right. That sounds good. But it should really be not for profit because we don't want to profit at all off of Nazis, even if it's, so we should make it not for profit. But we can still
have to get them. They do have to get them there, though. I'm not paying to import somebody just to make them walk the plank.
All right. But we need to make sure they're really Nazis. We want to make sure that somebody's just not, I don't like that person. Let's say they're a Nazi and bring them.
But that's the nice thing. That's the nice thing about Nazis is that, once they have been outed, generally all the videos of them, let's go nigger hunting. That shows that they are Nazi white supremacist assholes.
And usually they kind of tip their hat themselves. I mean, they kind of can't help it. Just like with Roseanne Barr. I mean, she just couldn't help it. She just couldn't. It's just her.
Have I said how much I am glad that show is gone?
I feel
many
bad
times now? Because, man, the very. I mean, I'm sorry, Lola. I know you like the show.
I like the other people. I like the other actors, and I hope they bring it back without Roseanne at all.
I hope they kill Roseanne.
It's not, but it's not Roseanne. If they don't have Roseanne, it's definitely not.
It's Darlene.
The Jackie show.
They're talking about doing a Darlene show. Yeah, that's the sister.
I don't mind. Awesome. I don't mind a mentally messed up individual having a show. That's as long as it's not, a white supremacist crap.
And I think I'm armchair diagnosing, but I do think she has severe mental instability, maybe bipolar. She said before she has different personalities, like multiple personalities. But hey, kitty cat, I don't want to sound like I'm disparaging that. But if that is the case, she needs to acknowledge it and she needs to work on it. And she needs to figure out what the heck is going on with her. Hey, kitty cat.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Gee. Oh my goodness. You're just
I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say it either.
I don't want the question from my mother.
T, what a beautiful pussy.
There we go.
Yeah. There it is. I know. It's like we're waiting. There it is.
Kumo, can I do my interview?
Cats do not respect. Yes, I respect you. I respect you. I recognize the kitty overlords, and I would not demand that you remove yourself from the situation.
They own. The funny thing is,
eventually they're going to take over the world. I just want to make myself invaluable.
Exactly. We want to treat them well because one day they'll be in charge.
Yes.
It's funny because our cat LSU, he patrols the house. He can't stand if there's a door closed to him. And I shut my mom's door because I don't want them going in and jumping on her, but he can't stand it. He will sit there and butt the door with his head. I'm like, I'm sorry, you can't go there. But as soon as I open the door, he has to go in and look around and just make sure everything's okay. Just look around, just make sure everything's cool.
T, have I ever told you about the cat I had when I was a teenager? Her name was Mischief. And eventually, the first time when we originally got her, she was a tiny little kitten, and she got into everything. So we named her Mischief. I came home a couple of weeks after we had gotten her, and we had also gotten a puppy. Yeah. And I came in, and I walked in the door, and I wondered, where's the puppy? Because the puppy usually runs up to greet me. And I walked through the place, and I came in the living room, and there's Mischief. One paw on the dog's nose. You are filthy. Licking the dog from stem to stern.
That's so cute. At least they're getting along.
The dog did not twitch. He whined, but he didn't twitch until the kitten was done with him.
Smart dog.
And then she became Miss Chiff because she was the ruler.
She's the chief.
She was the ruler of the house.
She is the chief. I love that.
The dog literally bowed to the cat.
It's a smart dog. And that's a good sign. Cats only lick some, another animal if they like the other animal. So that's a good sign.
She did a job on that dog.
Hey, the dog probably needed it.
Yeah, he probably did. Mickey he loved to roll in fish flakes. That was his thing.
Like what you feed fish?
Yeah, we had an aquarium, so he'd grab the can of fish flakes and he'd dump it on the floor and he'd roll in it.
Did he think it was catnip?
No, he just liked the smell of fish.
Well,
So
I guess
the
so.
dog liked the smell like dead fish.
Yes, the dog liked the smell of dead fish, and the cat thought it was disgusting, so she would lick him clean.
So the poor cat was ingesting the fish flakes.
Well, it's fish flakes are.
It's just
I mean, even we could
like
eat
crackers.
fish flakes, so it's kind of like crackers.
It's harmless. Yeah.
Harmless, yeah.
It's odd.
Ferocious, though. Ferocious.
Well, I had better check. Huh?
I best get going.
I gotta check on my mom. She hasn't called in 2 hours, which kind of makes me nervous. So I need to check on her.
Well, T, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a rather enlightening and amusing.
Very fun.
Very fun. It's always nice to talk to both of you. Guys, this has been Very Good Entertainment, episode 43. And if you want to interact with us, you can find me at Sorceress0, S0RCERESS0. Pretty much anywhere you can type it in. Lola?
I am Lola Laracy at lolalaracy.com and YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, just about everything.
And if you'd like to ask T some more questions, you can go onto our Facebook page under Very Good Entertainment. I cannot guarantee that T will answer all your questions, but whatever questions he feels are appropriate, I'm pretty sure that you might get an answer to.
Yep.
And you can offer up any craft beer news, any other insights that you may have, and hopefully we will be back again with another episode as soon as we can. Guys, you guys have a great night and have a great beer.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. I'll see y'all later, okay?
Yep. You guys